about the current leadership and what you're doing with the money. And
that's your time. Your time is way up.
Okay, done. Okay.
We don't live in a black and white world. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Has this board made any effort at all to sit down with the new entity, Redwood, whatever it is, and talk about possibly working together?
There is a history there that I will be happy to share with you outside the meeting.
But we're in a meeting. We can't do 10,000.
All right, I will share it. Okay. One of the, okay, do you want to go through that, or do you want me to?
Basically, we're being sued by the founding members of the Redwood Empire Farmers Market.
So does that mean you don't talk to them?
Well, it does. It is, and it
I was on the board last year, and we sat through, one day I sat at the market, the board members, between special meetings and open meetings, we had over 150 to 200 hours spent just with the Gleasons or about the Gleasons. And at some point, we realized that we were here when we started, and after that 200 hours, we were here when we break it. We had to say, there's other business that we have to take care of. So that's why it's not that we want to talk. It's just that when you talk that long to someone and nothing, there's no room for any sort of compromise or openness, then you just have to try something different.
Because at the root of my question is very simply this: is this an issue of the vendors, or is this an issue of the board?
The board is representing the vendors. And the decisions that we've been made since I have been in office have been democratically made.
And you've been in office since?
Since the end of January.
Of 11?
Let me explain something else. Okay. Last year, Paula was fired as the market manager by the board.
She resigned.
She was fired. And so the vendors, the majority of the vendors were so unhappy with this decision of the board that they called a special meeting and had an election and had her reinstated at a vote of 52 to 12. 52 wanted to bring Paula back as the market manager, 12 did not. She was reinstated as market manager at the end of last year. Because of that, that particular board resigned because they were unhappy with that. The members wanted her back. And an interim board was appointed. The present board was elected by the members.
Where were the other 38 people?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, those numbers don't add up to 100.
A lot of people at the farmers market don't participate, and that's the way it's been. I can say that for myself because I've been selling here since 1996, and I didn't want to be involved either. So I just I'm not going to vote. And a lot of vendors are like that, or they're farmers from out of the county, and they just want to sell their stuff. They don't really care who's running the market, and so they don't vote. So that accounts for a lot of. If you look at our membership list, we have about 110 members, and it's pretty standard that you don't get 100 ballots back.
You try.
That was a minute.
Another question?
So, can I ask for a point of clarification? Am I supposed to time the question and the response period? Or just the question? But I also had can you answer that one? Is it 1 minute for question and answer, or just 1 minute for question? Because I've been pausing for the answer, and then when they follow up, I've been starting up again. Should I continue that?
That's a little section.
But every question doesn't require a response. The ones that do maybe have a response to that too.
Because I don't think you can get a question and a response of any info in 1 minute. So I'm gonna go with question for 1 minute, and including the question's follow-ups. And if I may keep the floor, I have my own question, which I will now begin timing. So, to me, there's no point in vilifying the board of a co-op of farmers. They're just like some members, they're taking their turn now, and they're not power hungry. They're not getting rich off of this. Duh, okay? You elected them. If you don't like them, get rid of them next time around. Get some new ones. You step up and do it, okay? So let's not vilify the board. They're just doing their job. Secondly, to me, this has nothing to do with this new group and this farm that was only kept alive by a Facebook campaign so we can please pay our rent, okay? This has nothing to do with them. This has to do with whether or not this organization that's been here for 40-plus years has been treated fairly by the County Parks and Rec Department. And so what this meeting needs to be focused on is whether or not that was fair treatment and what this nonprofit organization, this co-op of all of you guys, is going to do about that. Now, if those actions fail, please go to this new group, beg them to be in their farmers market, because you'll be either somewhere else or you'll be no more. But the question on this table right now is, was that fair?
Well said. Can you run for the board?
I'm not in the market.
I'd like to follow up to that. I'm Mary Stevens. I'm just a long-time person coming in the farm market. I have to say, I love this market, but personally, it's just so disappointing to read in the paper such a divisive. I'm not trying to accuse you or your administration. It's not the farmers. They don't, but whoever represents you. That was the most divisive article, accusatory on the part of you guys, of the county. You're saying you're accusatory, you're divisive. It was so I'm freaking out. That previous article in the paper saying, instead of working collaboratively with the county, sitting down with them, saying, okay, here's our situation, here's all this, the county thinks we're making vague and unprofessional statements and an immediate defense response. There should be a professional manager or board or whomever does that sort of thing to sit down and work collaboratively. The county they're not trying to, they're just trying to take their fiscal responsibilities. They're under duress like every municipality.
That's your minute.
And honestly, I have to say, as a professional person at one time myself, when I read those questions, those are your responsibility to have sat down with. The county's not going to come to you and answer all those questions. You have to sit down and say, what if this, what if that?
Ma'am.
I cannot agree with you more. And because this board has had to go through so many changes, that is one of the issues that we are currently addressing. I could not agree more with you about what you just said. We do need to have a spokesperson. We do need to, yes, I totally agree with that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have that with this new board. We have just this year, since we've taken office, developed a method of communication for the outside world that there's a protocol now established. It has never been done before, and we're trying to make it better. And that was a wake-up call for all of us.
Is that protocol before or after that Press Democrat article?
It was after the Press Democrat
Oh,
article.
well, too bad, because that was
Why?
bad.
Because by then the county's going to be done. They don't, if they're not going to be cooperative and
No, I agree.
collaborative, they can find someone else to work with.
I totally agree with you. And all we can do is try to make it better.